Now I would like to move on to the next presentation. This is coming from Senbo Yan, who is Senior Manager of PV Solutions at JinkoSolar. Senbo is going to talk about real field test data results of the TOPCon performance. So Senbo, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm sure everyone can see my screen. So hello everyone. My name is Senbo Yan from JinkoSolar Global Solutions team. And today I'm very glad to join today's online meetings. Well, just before my presentation, I saw many colleagues sharing a great deal of technical highlights about the latest PV products. Well, personally, I believe these technical highlights will be transferred into higher power generation ultimately. So in my following presentation, I would like to present the data result from a 4-year field test power plant project in China. And let me start with the conclusion. The TOPCon modules have shown the best performance, and their higher power generation has been seriously monitored and authoritatively verified over a long period. So why do I draw this conclusion? Because on May 29th, the China's biggest customer, SPIC, which is called State Power Investment Corporation, just released the data from the Daqing base, which is the world's largest megawatt level field test power station. So by the way, SPIC has maintained its annual new PV installations at several gigawatts or more in recent years. So now let's review the key points. So firstly, let me briefly introduce the basic environmental situation of the Daqing base. You can see that Daqing city is located in Heilongjiang province. So it is in the northern east China. It is a high latitude cold area with an average temperature of around 5 to 6 degrees Celsius. However, the irradiance at the Daqing base is pretty high, with the highest irradiance range being 900 to 1000 watt per square meter. So different batches of modules are tested here at the Daqing base each year. The data record of the earliest batch can date back to 2022. So the first phase of the module field test area includes 12 manufacturers, 29 types of modules with a total capacity of 24.25 megawatts. So the N-type modules are mostly TOPCon at that time. So that is the basic information of the Daqing city and the test information. So now let's take a look at the data. So as you probably know, JinkoSolar, as a pioneer of the N-type TOPCon, initially produced the modules in the 182 millimeter 144 cell type. Therefore, we extracted the data for this typical type and compare it with IBC. Well, you can see that after 4 years of long-term data observation, we can see that the average annual gain over 4 years is 2.27%. Here, I would like to clarify that the power generation gain here we refer to as the power generation per watt, which is also called the specific power generation. And this also applies to the data I will show in the all coming slides. Well, this power generation gain is not for 1 day, 1 month, or 1 quarter, but has maintained its lead for over 1,300 days. Furthermore, if we look into the data carefully, we can find 2 interesting conclusions. Firstly, if we break down the 4-year power generation data analysis annual gain year by year, we can see that the gain of the 182 millimeter 144 cell type compared to IBC increased from the 1.39% from year 1 to the 3.49% in the year 4. So this shows that from a long-term perspective, the power generation of TOPCon has been steadily increasing and it is expected to continue rising in the future. Well, secondly, if you look at the data, you should note that this 182 millimeter 144 cell TOPCon module referred to is not specifically Jinko's brand. Rather, it is an average result from many manufacturers. According to the official data, there can be a difference of over 2% between the best and the worst performing TOPCon modules in terms of the power generation. So therefore, when we choose the TOPCon groups, we must select a manufacturer with the reliable technology and quality. As a pioneer of N-type TOPCon mass production, JinkoSolar deserves your trust. And after reviewing the overall data, I believe the audience may raise the following questions. Why is the gain so high? So next, I will analyze in depth from two dimensions. So firstly, I think it's the higher bifaciality of TOPCon. So if we take the average bifaciality of TOPCon modules and IBC modules in the Daqing phase 1, we can find that the bifaciality of TOPCon modules is about 10% higher. So therefore, in a ground-mounted power plant scenarios, the higher the rear side irradiance proportion, the greater the gain of TOPCon modules. So now let's look at the official data. So under the fixed irradiance and fixed ambient temperature, we can see that as the rear side proportion increases, the power difference between the TOPCon and the IBC gradually widens. So under good rear side irradiance conditions, the difference of TOPCon modules can reach over 2% over IBC modules. So this shows that the TOPCon modules remain the best choice for the comprehensive power generation in ground-mounted power plants. So the keynote here is that the bifacial gain cannot be ignored, and even in the TOPCon groups, the bifaciality also varies a lot. So we must choose mature TOPCon modules. Secondly, TOPCon modules delivers better power output under certain temperature conditions. You can see from the chart under fixed irradiance and the rear side irradiance proportion conditions, as the temperature rises, the power difference between TOPCon and IBC gradually increases. As I mentioned earlier, the ambient temperature in Daqing City is relatively low, and the official data of the temperature only up to about 20 degrees Celsius. So we can imagine that in the desert power plants, such as in the northwest China or in the Middle East, we can see that the ambient temperature can often reach over 40 degrees Celsius. So you can imagine that following this trend, the power output advantage of TOPCon modules will further expand. So what I have just shown, the data is from Daqing phase 1. In fact, Daqing has already completed 3 phases. So next, I will display the result from the most recent phase 3. The data for phase 3 covers the period from the January 1st, 2025 to the end of 2025. So latest TOPCon modules and the latest IBC modules are selected for comparison. So after 1 year of data monitoring, we found that the average gain of TOPCon modules can reach over 0.75%. However, the difference between different TOPCon manufacturer is also significant. Well, you can see that just on my left side, one reason by the official data is the high bifaciality of the TOPCon modules. According to the disclosed data, the measured bifaciality of the ordinary IBC is about 72%, while that of ordinary TOPCon is 77%. So the highest measured bifaciality belongs to TOPCon modules at 80%. So these are the latest data from the megawatt level power station released by SPIC. And I want to emphasize that again, that this data was collected by SPIC itself, not by any third party, and its credibility is the highest in China. So SPIC publishes the previous year's data every May or June. So we are also looking forward to seeing the latest data for this year in 2027. In addition, although the SPIC data is very important, it has its own limitation. It cannot reflect the power generation performance of the latest current technologies. So typically, it takes more than 1 year to obtain power generation data from the new technologies. As you know, Jinko's latest TaiyangNews 3.0 modules use the FP technology. To verify the power generation capability, we commissioned a professional third-party organization, CGC, which is also called the China General Certification Center, to conduct a power generation test comparing the Jinko TaiyangNews 3.0 modules with the latest N-type BC modules bifacial at a ground-mounted power plant in Wuwei, Gansu province. So let me first introduce the basic geographical conditions of Wuwei, Gansu. Well, you can see from the map that the Wuwei is located in the northwest China, where it is arid year-round, with very high summer temperatures can exceed about 60 degrees Celsius. Well, it's a desert environment with a little bit snow in winter and occasional sandstorms, so making the conditions extremely harsh. So here, I would like to mention again about the comparison groups. So we selected our latest TaiyangNews 3.0 and the latest N-type BC. Both power beams are rated 650 watt. The amount is the same, and the tilt angle is same. The ground conditions is same. So every settings condition is same. So we observed the nearly 1 month of power generation data from March 31st to the April 29th this year. Then we got the official report from the CGC. So now let's look at the data result. So the average specific gain of Jinko TaiyangNews 3.0 reached 1.28%. And we also installed the irradiance sensors on site. So if we break down the power generation gain by irradiance range, as shown in the right chart, we can see that in the 100 to 200 watts per square meter irradiance range, the gain of TaiyangNews 3.0 is 2.23%. And in the 0 to 100 watt per square meter irradiance range, the gain of the TaiyangNews 3.0 is 3.33. So this improves that in actual outdoor performance, the TaiyangNews 3.0 has the better low light performance. So due to the limited time today, we have only selected this power plant in Wuwei, Gansu for analysis. In fact, JinkoSolar takes great importance on the performance of its products in various outdoor field test scenarios. Here, I would like to show the Jinko field test site map, and we have already built and operated more than 20 power stations, and in the future, we will build about 18 additional field test stations worldwide. And we will collaborate with authoritative third-party organizations with strong international influence, such as TÜV Rheinland, TÜV Nord, to provide global customers with the most authentic data on the power generation performance of our latest products. So I believe that's from my side. So thank you for listening.
Okay, thanks, Senbo. So I have one question. In your presentation, you showed that the 4-year average gain for TOPCon versus BC at phase one is 2.27. And then it is really went down to 0.75%. So, okay, so, there is a difference. And I just would like to understand, does it mean TOPCon is also losing its advantage, maybe because of the bifaciality gain at BC? Can you just throw some more light on that?
Well, that's a good question, I think. So I would like to mention that all the BC type is IBC and not the N type, latest N type BC of some certain brands. And I think the two set of the data are not directly comparable because they come from different phases, from different modules. So phase one, just like what I said, include early TOPCon modules and early IBC modules from the 2022, while the first three use the latest TOPCon and the IBC modules available in 2025. So I think the 0.75% gain reflects the current generation of both technologies. Importantly, this still a gain, right? This is still positive gain. And I think the official data only shows within the TOPCon groups. So as I mentioned, in phase one, there are 29 manufacturers, and maybe in the phase three, there are more like 40 or 50 TOPCon players. So that is an average result. You should know that. And I want to know is that the best performing TOPCon modules outperformed the worst TOPCon can over 2%. So the advantage still exists, but the absolute gain depends on which specific products are compared. So just like I said, we need to choose a mature TOPCon brand and a mature TOPCon manufacturer so we can guarantee the specific gain is still exist. Yes.
Okay, so then I have one more quick question. So you mentioned Tiger Neo 3.0 module with FP technology has better low light performance. So can you explain the technical reason for this? For the benefit, what really went that it has such a better low light performance?
Yeah, sure. So that's also a good question because we can see from the real data that the TOPCon of our Jinko TaiyangNews 3.0 shows the better low light performance. Well, in theory, TaiyangNews 3.0 improves its surface passivation, which reduce the carrier recombination losses and contribute to higher RSH and under low irradiance conditions, the open circuit voltage, which is also we know as VOC and FF factors, are less affected by the recombination. So resulting, it results in the higher relative efficiency compared to the modules with standard passivation. So that's the key points why the TOPCon of our Jinko brand TaiyangNews 3.0 has a better low light performance. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Senbo. So
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the conference. And if there are any questions in the chat window, please check and reply.